welcome to level 2 of the MPA snare drum clinics. Right now we're going to be talking about some timing exercises, and this clinic is going to be a little bit shorter, hopefully, and we're going to be gearing it more towards some play-alongs and some practice time. So timing exercises are one of the most important skill sets that we need to master, right? Just our timing in general. You got to be able to play in time in a marching percussion ensemble, especially the snare line, right? Snare line drives the bus. So we got to be driving that bus. And, you know, if you're looking at participating in the next level, independent groups, you know, the level of detail that we're dealing with is pretty specific with that metronome, right? So it's not enough to just play with the metronome, but we have to be super detailed about how we approach it and our awareness of it, and we're going for perfection, right? So we're going to be playing along to some just basic timing exercises, a couple 16th note variations, and a triplet variation as well. And if you are not comfortable with these exercises, you can find the links below in the video description, and so you can pull those up and play along as we go. First one we're going to be playing is the 3-note 16th note timing. And now this exercise is dealing with two of the stroke types from the previous video. We've got our rebound strokes again, right? And we got our down strokes again. So our mastery of those strokes is going to be key here as well in order to give us some great sound quality as we play. So here is the 16th note timing 3-note version. Again, feel free to pause that video if you want a little practice time on the exercise, and then you can jump in. Here we go. We'll tap in. Hit that one more time. Sweet. Now, when we practice these timing exercises, something you can think about is putting yourself in that performance mode setting, right? If you're at drumline rehearsal, hopefully you are not just looking around like this. Got your hands, all right, sitting down on your chair, on your couch, with a bag of chips next to you, right? But in that drumline setting, you're going to be standing up, right? You're going to be looking forward. And that's going to really help your focus if you practice like that as well when you're at home, okay? To take that a step further, think of this metronome as part of your instrument, right? When you are not playing right on with that metronome, what's going to help you play with those upbeats is thinking of that metronome as your instrument. The sound it creates matches right with your snare drum sound. It's part of the sound. It's part of the rhythm that you're playing, right? Okay, let's move on to that 2-note version. 2-note timing version. Okay, here we go. And 5, 6, ready, go. One more time. So something that always helps me out with this exercise is I flick that 8th note on the metronome. So if you got a metronome with you that you're able to subdivide, that's going to be extra helpful. So when I do that, the rhythms that I hear are being created with the metronome are just a little bit different because they incorporate some more of those 16th notes for me. Okay, let's try that again with that 8th note on. Right, so you notice how some of those rhythms that you're hearing again with the metronome are just a little bit different than when it's just on the quarter note. You can take it even a step further, add that 16th note on there. See the same thing. Good. So having that 16th note on when you play a 16th note timing exercise is going to be beneficial because you can work on burying the met, what we call burying the met, right? If you can hear it, then you might be off a little bit. If you can't hear it, you're right on. Okay? And something to watch out for is that second pattern with this exercise. Probably noticed I was a little inconsistent on that pattern as well. The one that goes E and, E and, E and, E and. Okay? And, you know, every single drum line that has ever played this exercise is going to have trouble with that second pattern. So work on that one an extra amount, okay? Moving on to the 16th note grid. And hopefully this one is a familiar one to you. I think every single snare drummer should know this exercise. If you're going to pick one timing exercise that you have to play, it's going to be this one. So let's go through and play the whole thing. I'm going to turn this 8th note on just to help me out a little bit. Hit that one more time. See if we can get more consistent. Good. And once again, what I'm trying to listen for is the sound that I create with the metronome. Not just my sound or just the metronome sound, but both of them combined to make one cohesive sound. Okay? Let's take that exercise a step further. And we're going to take out all of the taps. Remove all of the taps. Okay? We're just going to play each accent. See how this lines up with the met. Okay? Good. Now, once again, you can feel free to go back and just rewind, play these a bunch of times in a row with me, and we'll get lots of reps in order to get consistent, get that practice time in, right? Let's move on to the triplet grid. This is the last timing exercise that we're going to do today. once again, just a really good exercise to know, and good exercise to focus on in order to play your triplets in time, right? And we don't need that eighth note because we're going triplets here. Triplets tend to be confusing for lots of players, so it's good to play this one a lot slower too than we are right now. And you may think, oh, it's just triplets. No problem, right? But making sure, especially you get this second pattern of the exercise and then the third pattern fully right in time, again, to that next level of detail, that specific detail with the metronome that we're looking for, takes some work, right? Here's 126, triplet grade. One more time on that. Awesome. So remember, take these timing exercises way slow, right? It's cool to play it slow. And then, once again, build that up. Okay? Starting slow is important though.